Welcome back to 2 Minute Tuesday, where each week we dive into one woodworking topic, and this week it's breadboard ends. What are they? Why are they used? How to add them? And should you be using them on your next woodworking project? I'll also show you one way that will definitely lead to disaster. First off, what are breadboard ends? Simply put, they are the horizontal boards placed at the end of a solid wood panel. Typically, you'll find these on dining room tables, side tables, or coffee tables. Breadboard ends are used for a variety of reasons. Some prefer the look of breadboard ends rather than seeing the end grain. They also provide a good way of hiding the difference in stain color of end grain versus long grain, which will lead to an overall consistent look in your piece of furniture. Breadboard ends also keep the panel flat by providing support across the entire width of the panel. They won't fix warped or twisted glue-ups, but it will help prevent any cupping due to wood movement or moisture changes over time. Also, properly constructed breadboard ends can be seen as a sign of craftsmanship for a woodworker. Traditionally, breadboard ends were difficult to construct and took experience and skills to master perfectly. Now, to add breadboard ends, there are a few different ways you could go about it, and like I said, there's one way that could lead to disaster and cause you a lot of problems. One simple way is with a full-length tongue and groove, locking it down with drawboard dowels. This can easily be done on a table saw and handheld router, or a router table if your panel is small enough. You could also attach breadboard ends with a sliding dovetail and a locking center dowel to hold it in place. To me, this is probably the hardest way to go about breadboard ends, but if you're able to pull it off, it would really highlight the craftsmanship. Another traditional way of doing breadboard ends is with mortise and tenon joiner, but if you have a Festool Domino, it can make things super fast and easy and have the same effect. I'm actually working on wrapping up a set of end tables and a video showing you exactly how to do breadboard ends with the Festool Domino. When that video is out, I'll link it in the description below if you're interested. The main question is, should you be using breadboard ends? And honestly, it depends. I think they look great on dining room tables, but maybe a little bit overkill on end tables or coffee tables. Breadboard ends are not required, so don't feel like you have to add them to build a high quality table. Now, the one thing that will lead to disaster is exactly how I built my first set of breadboard ends, with pocket holes and screws. I didn't account for wood movement and it caused me a ton of problems. So if you haven't watched my previous video on wood movement, you really need to go check it out. That way things like this won't happen to you. I hope you found this 2 Minute Tuesday helpful. If you didn't, please leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that so you don't miss out on next week. My name's Tyler Brown, and I'll see you next Tuesday.